Pressure is mounting in South Africa to address xenophobic violence in the country. African nations are questioning the Ramaphosa government over reported attacks on their nationals. And now they have sprung into action. Ghana will evacuate 300 of its citizens from South Africa as anti immigration protests escalate. The Ghanaian foreign minister says distressed nationals formally requested rescue at the Pretoria embassy. Accra has also written to the African Union to discuss the safety of foreigners in South Africa. Nigeria has joined Ghana in slamming the South African government. Abuja says it will repatriate at least 130 of its nationals. Both countries have summoned South African envoys to demand answers. Kenya, Malawi, Lesotho, and Zimbabwe have also warned their citizens to remain vigilant. The latest xenophobic row broke out after videos on social media allegedly showed Ghanaians being mistreated by South African locals. But Pretoria has struck a defiant tone. South Africa called the videos fake and pushed back against the xenophobic label. Cabinet condemned the viral circulation of fake videos and images claiming to be of attacks on foreign nationals in South Africa. The fake videos and images are not only fake, but they are intended to undermine the good reputation of South Africa internationally. On Monday, President Cyril Ramaphosa condemned the attacks on foreign nationals. However, he described them as isolated acts of criminality, not proof of hostility towards foreigners. South Africa is the continent's most industrialized economy. It is a natural magnet for migrants seeking better jobs and lives. Reports suggest South Africa is home to over 3 million foreigners, nearly 5% of the population. But most of these migrants are undocumented. That fact has been at the center of the latest anti immigration protests. South Africans have been rallying in Durban, Johannesburg, and Pretoria, demanding the government shut shops owned by illegal migrants. They argue undocumented foreigners compete with locals for healthcare and jobs. In a country where unemployment is at 32.7%, anti immigrant sentiment is visibly high. The Ramaphosa government has defended the right of South Africans to protest. It has also slammed critics for wrongly framing their concerns as xenophobic. The government has blamed other African nations for the migration crisis, pointing to bad governance, wars, and conflicts as the root cause. However, migrants say they are being scapegoated for the failures of the South African government. They argue that South Africans are wrongly projecting their anger towards the government onto migrants. In the past, anti immigrant sentiment has led to deadly violence. In 2008, at least 62 people were killed in xenophobic attacks that started near Johannesburg and engulfed the country. Migrants from Zimbabwe, Mozambique, Malawi, and Somalia were killed. One victim was burned alive. Similar incidents happened in 2015, 2019, and 2021, and then again in 2024. As the xenophobic row escalates, things are getting more difficult for President Cyril Ramaphosa. He already has an impeachment probe looming over his head. South Africans want him to protect them against illegal migrants. Fellow African nations want him to protect their nationals. President Ramaphosa is walking a diplomatic tightrope while his seat is under threat. How his government will further respond remains to be seen. I am Otaria Benjamin, reporting with clarity on the issues that impact our continent. This is Media Room Africa.